Hey guys, welcome back. Assalamu alaikum. So it just hit 7:01 p.m. This is absolutely amazing. We did it. We did it. You can see from this giant candle that we actually did it. I'm just gonna post on Twitter really quick right now, just to let everybody know we have gone live. And what a absolutely wild candle. I'm sure you guys can see it too. It is insane. And this is just the start, right? This is genuinely the start of our run. That we should be excited, like more than excited. This is it. So let's quickly talk about it. Let's see what happened. Yeah. So we are looking at the 1 minute candle right now. And as you can see here, this is the final minute. So this candle right here was the final minute. It was exactly at 6:59 going into that 7 p.m. close. Now this close was super, super important because where did we close at? That's the main question, right? You can see here we closed at 17354. Now, I've been talking about this for so long now, but our weekly, let's see if I can pull up a weekly. Our weekly right here, full screen that, have a quick look. Wow, that's kind of a jumbled mess. Let's zoom out a little bit. There we go. So we can see right here, our weekly, and this has been for a long time coming, right? Like I've been talking about this bull run now for I feel like what is forever. But as you can see, this was our previous run. Let's just zoom out a little bit more. So you can see here, this is our week one. This candle, let's zoom out a little bit more on it so you guys can see better. There we go. As you can see here, the wedge that started literally 3 months ago is come to an end. We are at the breaking point of this exact wedge. And the thing was, when this wedge broke, what we wanted to make sure is we were above the resistances that we've been fighting against for so long. And these resistances, if I can just zoom in here, a little closer on it right here. So this resistance against this line was at 172. That's why it was so important for us. So if we can see here at the top left, we opened at 17311. We flipped every resistance we needed to. The only resistance that's left, and this resistance is going to affect us. Don't think we're in the clear just yet. No. Instead, what it means is now that we've broken through this wedge, we are ready to run against the band. So the band currently sits at 19915. That band is our next target. So this next week, and it's going to be a very, very exciting week. So for everybody watching, Luna Classic is getting ready to run. Essentially what's going to happen is this band right here, we are going to attack it and attack it and attack it with the entire momentum that we've built up for the past month and a half. This momentum, it was for nothing. It wasn't for nothing. We didn't just trade sideways. No, instead, we built that momentum up to attack this resistance right here. So that 19915, we are going to break, but it might not be this week. Just to be realistic about it, a resistance this strong, because if you look, let's go through the history of it, yeah? We've stayed below this resistance ever since this run-up. We have not at any point broken that resistance since we started this run-up. So it's very, very, very clear to see that it's not something that we can break so easily. Understanding that, we shouldn't get our hopes up too high to see like a 3-run or a 4-run. No. Instead, we should understand that this week we're going to go to 2-1 and then maybe 2-2, but we're definitely going to come down under this resistance band. Once we come back under, by next Wednesday, if we're around 18 to 19 range, then inshallah from there, the next week we break through and we're looking to hit, what is this currently? We're looking to hit about 28 to 30 in roughly 7 to 14 days. And if that's not exciting, I don't know why you're in crypto. I don't know why you care about Luna Classic. I don't even know why you're here, to be honest, because this coin is doing everything it can. Now, just jumping back over to the minute candle to see how things are developing. The 5-minute candle is actually about to close here. So let's just look at that 5-minute really quickly. There's got to be a better way to zoom, by the way. If you guys know a better way to zoom, like that's... Okay, there we go. So as you can see here, this 5-minute candle is beautiful. So this was the start of the 7 into what's currently happening right now. And we can see here, so over here at our bottom, we have our MACD going here, and it moved very, very strong, right? You can see that jump from negative 0.000003 into 1, a whole four basis point upward. Now, of course, going into this next one, it's a 5. What we can tell here is this momentum is just starting. It's genuinely just starting, and we're likely looking to hit this upper band of resistance. Where is that band right now? It's sitting at 17469. What that tells us is we're getting ready to go into that 175 range, and then throughout the week, pushing into the 18. To see exactly where we'll hit that, let's zoom out a little bit more, look into the 15-minute candles here. So here's our 15-minute candles, and as you can see, we have a lot of room. We have a lot of room to move. Our indicators are strong in there. We're fine to push upward into this band resistance of 17520. So now we know, at least within the next hour, actually, we'll be able to push upward. We have the momentum going for it. We closed above. We have the supports now. Everything is set for us to push into that 1.8 range. Looking into the 30-minute candle, you can see once more that resistance band, that upper resistance band, is still very much so present. In fact, we came really close to hitting it the past 15 minutes. As you can see here, we nearly hit it just to come back down. So what's going to happen is likely for the next hour, we're looking to encroach on this resistance band as it pushes into that 175 to the 176 range. It's going to happen. We're going to do this. We're going to see this candle, this one candle we saw here, we're going to see that again. We're going to see this giant increase pushing past this resistance band, probably into 176, maybe 177, have one strong candle that may see the 1.8 range for a little bit before we come back down. Now we're looking to come back down to the 175, 176 range. So then that's the 30-minute. We can assume that will probably happen in the next hour and a half, so the next 3 to 4 candles. So let's look at the hour candle to see how that's developing. Now, every candle, as you can kind of start to tell, their resistances are roughly the same but lower, right? So we saw with the 5-minute candle is at 176, the 15-minute candle is at 1755, the 30-minute candle is sitting at the 1749 range. And you can see that again, here we are with the hour candle, that resistance is at 17398. And this is exactly why there's no point rushing crypto, because crypto doesn't work where like you're going to have an immediate rush and a hold. That's not how it works. Instead, a lot of times what happens is you break resistance points, and those resistance points don't really like that. So then you'll usually have a candle following that looks for a correction. So that correction is typically around the 0.63 of whatever the run was, as you can see here from this one to this one. And that's actually exactly what we're going to see going forward with this hour. So if we zoom in on it, we can see here we broke through. The moment we broke through, we came back up, right? And that's fine because we're going to keep pushing on it. We're going to keep pushing into the 175 range. So we're going to have one candle, a second really good candle. So that shows us the next 2 hours is going to 175, 176, 177, and then a whole bunch of sideways. Probably, again, 175, 176 range for the next 3 to 4 hours. So that gives us a timeline roughly of the next 6 hours or so. So we're going to look over at the 2 hour, the 4 hour, the 12, the daily, and then the weekly to see how things are progressing. So here we are, the 2 hour candle. We're guaranteed probably, okay, so yeah, here we are. We can see one, we're strong above our support, right? So our support right now is at 17280. This support is going to hold us up. So we don't need to necessarily worry about a crash for the moment because we have a strong support going. That being said, you can see right here, the upper band of resistance is very, very high upward, right? It's at 17964. This tells us that we have a very good chance of running upward without any worry. At least in the long term, we can see ourselves pushing into that high 17 range. So likely based on the indicators below, as you can see here, we're looking to run. We're looking to run towards this resistance point. But, and here's a key thing here, the resistance point is coming down, right? So about 2 hours ago, it was at 181. Last hour, 180. Currently, 179. So in that time frame, when we come to around 176, 177, this resistance point will also be there. So this supports what we were thinking earlier with that 30-minute candle, with that hour candle, that we're going to hit that range and then come back down. So that's the 2 hour, and it gives us a better idea that probably, again, once more, reinforcing the idea in the next 2 to 4 hours, we're going to see that push, and then we're going to start to stagnate. So let's check over the 4-hour to see it all unfold. Because the 4-hour encompasses everything, right? If we're thinking we're going to see that run in the next 2 to 4 hours, we're going to see it in the 4-hour candle. So the 4-hour candle closes in 3 hours and 50 minutes. So that gives us enough time. Let's see how that's progressing. So as you can see here, this happened earlier today, and it's why people were panicking, like, oh no, we went down to 168. No, there's no worry with that, right? Because as you can see, that indicator flipped very, very quickly. And instead, it's getting ready for a run up. So that run up is exactly what we wanted to see. And have a look at this, because this is going to support every point we've been saying. So remember, we've been saying we're going to go to like 177 or 176, 177 into that range and then come back down. Well, as we thought, the resistance line on the 4-hour candle is sitting at 17629. So that tells us, as we thought, we're going to come up, we're going to hit that resistance. We may break, but in the next 3 hours, 50 minutes, we will come back under this line. And it's not because, oh, that line is impossible to break. No, it's because in most cases, when you come to a resistance, you have 2 times you test it. First is the initial test where you always seem to break. Everybody's happy. Everybody's excited. But you come back down. The second time, that resistance has gone weaker. You've already hit it. So that second time around, you're going to close above. So what that tells us, and this is the first time we're seeing this, what that tells us is, one, we're for sure looking once more to hit the 177 range. That's one thing it tells us. 2, it tells us in the next 4 hours, we're looking to come under 176. And 3, and this is the main one, we're looking to push past 176 in the next 4 hours. So we're likely looking to go into 177 into that 18 range. And that's amazing to see, guys. We are getting ready to run. So that's a 4-hour. We now have a time frame between 4 to 8 hours. We understand what's going to happen for the next 8 hours. What next? Let's look over at our 12, right? This is one of our bigger candles and will give us a much better idea of how things are coming along. So let's once more zoom out. So saw the bottom here, and we saw this progressively getting to these points. Now, the main thing to understand with the 12-hour is, where's our momentum headed? Well, we know at the bottom candle, and this was almost 2 days ago now, it was at negative 0.000075, then hit negative 0.0000119, then the negative 0.0000122, and now, and this is a key one, 113. Now, having ended the week, there isn't as much negative pressure. So that's why we're starting to flip back upward. And this is important. But, and let's zoom in again because you can see it. There's a resistance line. This resistance line sits at 17472. So you're thinking, oh no, are we going to come under that within the next 12 hours? No. See, like I said earlier and explained to everybody earlier, when you're looking at the 4-hour, when we already hit it. In the last 12 hours, we broke this line. So we've already tested that resistance. So instead, what we're looking to do is we're looking to close above this resistance line. So this only verifies further the strength we have built up and telling us that for certain within the next 12 hours, we're looking to close at minimum above the 17472 line, which is fantastic to see. Guys, our strength is there. It's amazing, really. And lastly, we have our day candle. Always a fun one to look at because it gives us the general idea of what the next 24 hours is going to look to be, right? So with that, let's have a look. Oh, also, with the day candle, I did have a wedge set up, I believe. So let's see if we can see that wedge. Let's minus that. There we go, yeah. So the wedge pattern is always important to see because it gives us a general idea of how things are progressing. So as you can see here, we've passed it. The wedge has come to an end for the most part. I think we might have to adjust this line just a little bit more outward. Make sure it cuts along. See how the bottom is progressing. Where is that bottom line? There's that bottom line. So that bottom line isn't quite lined up as we want it to be. Aligned up at the bottom. There we go. So, as we saw with our weekly, we broke through, right? But our weekly isn't sustained unless our daily candle also shows that break. So the daily candle here, as you can see, where is it sitting at right now? Because that is our main resistance. That is something we're going to be fighting to break every single day. And we need to make sure we have 2 candles that break above this resistance line. So keep zooming. Not quite there yet. Keep zooming. Let's just zoom this in a lot more. Sorry, note February. There we are. The candles look disgusting now. Here. So yeah, as you can see here, this is where we currently are, right? We're currently sitting at 17432. Now this resistance line at this point though, where is that sitting at? It's sitting at 17545. Kind of interesting, right? We can see that resistance line of our massive wedge is sitting at the exact point we've been talking about breaking. Every candle has been suggesting that we're looking to break this resistance point. And this resistance point happens to be our wedge. So again, what do we want to do? What do we want to see? Well, what we want to see is we want to make sure we break this wedge for minimum 2 candles. If you can break it for 2 candles, meaning we need for 48 hours, we need to ensure that we're above the 175. Now, this is a lot tougher than it looks, to be honest. Because what usually happens is when you have a wedge like this, most people think, oh, we broke it, we're running. No, that's not the case. You run once you've sustained that break. So a lot of times within that candle frame, we tend to fall within the resistance or within this wedge. So keep in mind, our goal is currently 175 on the daily. This 175 for the next 5 to 6 days, we want to ensure we break above and close above for at least 3 days. So that is the daily, just to zoom in a little bit on it. Doesn't look the prettiest, but that's what the daily is. So then what other indicators we have? Oh, right, we haven't looked at the 8 hour. The 8 hour is usually one of my favorites. I don't know why it's not favorited here. There we go. Yeah, okay. So let's look at the 8 hour. Now again, the 8 hour did close along with the daily. So let's see how that's progressing. I also am going to create a wedge line for it because I feel like that's important to do. So let's zoom out. Let's get rid of these. We don't really care about volume right now. It's not really important. Volume will come. By the way, for those who are like, oh, where's the volume? Where's the volume? Volume comes with every run. So there's no point panicking about volume because that will be there. So we can see the bottom of the wedge. So we've been pushing along this. Do you see that? Every time we hit that bottom wedge, we've been pushing along. Alhamdulillah, we've been holding strong. So with that being said, let's just quickly make our top point. Is this the, no, where is it? Cross dot arrow, no, I think it is this actually. Trend line, yeah. So from the top, going across, ensuring you're touching along. And, oops. Sorry, my screen's kind of acting up right now. Okay, I'm gonna have to like just shift over to fix it a little bit. There we go. Okay. So that fixed, let's look at the 8 hour and when we're expecting the 8 hour to come and hit this wedge, right? That is going to be a main thing because I'm going to be posting all about our 8 hour points. So it's better to understand when it is we're thinking of breaking and how long we need to break for. Essentially, what days are we going to run? So zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. This is looking hideous. Let's just reset that actually, 4 hour. And back to 8. Yikes. Reset chart. There we go. Okay. Oh, I have 2 lines now, which is fine because the second one's not. Let's just hide this one for a second. Okay. So we can see it here. This is again on the 8 hour, by the way. So we're currently in the midst of. I wish we could zoom in. If anybody knows how to zoom in better on this, that would be really helpful because I really can't stand the fact it looks like that sometimes. And I don't want to reset the chart. Lock or certain time. Price scale, time scale here. Session breaks. No, I guess it's fine. Okay. So with that being said, over here, this is our candle right now. We can see it takes about from to this point, we have 2 more candles. So essentially, unless we break past, so the wedge right now is currently at 175.05. Notice that again. Whether it was the day candle or the 8-hour candle, this wedge is sitting at its same point. So that means for the 8-hour candle, we may actually start to hit this. We may start to break this, right? Now, if we do break it, don't think that's it. That's it. We're gonna run. No, we need to break this, hit 176, then hold 176 for 1-2 candles. Especially because we want to see that effect on the daily, right? Like the 8-hour, yes, while important, the main point of the 8 hours is to understand how the daily works. With that being said, that pretty much summarizes everything. We're either going to, so at its earliest, we're going to hit this wedge today. Well, like actually in the next 7 hours. At its latest, unless, like, of course, something could always happen. But at its latest, we're looking to hit it in about 8:16, in about 24 hours time if we break past 173. So really, in 24 hours, if we're above 173, then we're looking to sustain ourselves and run. So what that means, guys, is we are literally at the end game here. We are one. I don't even know how to tell you guys. We are a day, maybe a week at most away from running to 1995, and then from there running to 3.0003, and from there, inshallah, running to 0.0008. I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm gonna keep this up for a little while longer. I will update. I will update and talk about the charts every 15 minutes or so. So to talk about every half-hour chart, every 15-minute chart. Where I have the 1-minute chart opened up. So if you guys just want to watch that with me, you totally can. If you have any comments, let me know. I'll be here. All right, guys, it is just about 7:30, so let's look at the update, right? So we're looking at both 15 and 30-minute candles to see how things are progressing along. Are we meeting what we want to see here? So let's zoom into that really quick. So this is the 15-minute candle just closed as it is 7:30. So what can we see here? We're currently sitting at about 17342. Yep. And we can see the indicators have been starting to reverse, right? So we did manage to about half an hour, no, yeah, like about 2 hours ago, we hit that upper wedge point, and since then we've been starting to trade sideways. John is obviously okay. We have our support here at 17266. So all this time we've been trading sideways, our supports have been pulling upward. John is exactly what we wanted to see as we wait for the next part of the run to start. So as we know, we're going to push upward into the 175 to the 177 range. To do that, we need to make sure our supports are there. So that's how this is progressing along. This is probably going to be negative for a little bit. We're likely looking for the next half an hour to 45 minutes. This candle will start to go negative, dip down to the support of 17266, so around that range, and then we bounce back upward. To see this surely unfold, let's just check over the half hour. So here we are. This is the half hour point, and as you can see, exactly kind of like the previous one, we broke through the upper resistance, which was the main part of this. We wanted to break through. We saw that candle that's sustained outside, and now we're trading sideways. Now the main point of this, though, is that this sideways trading point is allowing everything to come back up. So we can see here on the half hour candle, we have supports at 171. And while that doesn't sound too high, about 2 hours ago, it was down to 17050. So we can see the run is starting to slow down a little bit, right? 4-3, 3-8, 3-5, 3-2. So this indicates to us that while this run is starting to slow down, once more, our supports are going to back us up. So likely what's looking to happen is we're going to have this one moment where we peak out. Might not be just yet. 17350 is pretty close to it. We're probably going to peak around 1738 as we head back down towards the support. Now, while that's happening, this support is going to need to come up. So the support is going to come up to about 172 range. As it comes up to the 172 range, that's when we'll come back down. We'll come back down, hit that support, and bounce back upward. And in that time, that upper resistance is going to keep pushing upward, giving us a chance to get ready for the run. I don't know if you can do that. And then, of course, we're looking over at the hour candle here. So the hour is just as important. We can see here, broke, sustained, and now starting to trade sideways. Now the hour candle is a bit of a different story, right? Each candle is going to have a little bit lower of a momentum. So this hour candle here is sitting currently at 17087. So what that means is as this continues to push upward and the upper resistance continues to push upward, we're going to need to come back down to our support. Now, before we come back down, we want the support to come up to 171, 172. Because the last thing we want to see is that 1-6 range again. If we hit that 1-6 range, it's going to be a bit of an issue for the week because that means for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, we're going to be heading downward. We don't want to see that right now because we want to run to that 199. The coveted 199, so if we look over here, the weekly, the coveted 199 is our, oops, that's kind of hard to see. Sorry, so the coveted 199 is right here. This is our goal. We want to ensure we break this. So no matter what else happens, ignore everything else, but keep in mind 199. So that is everything for the half an hour to 15 minutes. So I think I'm pretty covered for now. If anybody has any questions or is confused, let me know and I can answer them now. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in 10 minutes or so when I give the next update. Because we're going to be looking at the 15-minute and 30-minute candles for another half an hour before I close off the stream. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. See. And welcome back, guys. So we are looking over here at the 15-minute candles. We did just close the 15-minute, and as we thought, like we mentioned this actually quite some time ago, but when we broke this initial one, we're gonna have that one candle here, and then we're gonna trade sideways. And we've been trading sideways, right? No, we've been trading sideways in that 173 to the 174 range. We can see we're actually pushing further and further upward. Now, this upward momentum is holding us up really well as our supports come up. So it's 17272 last time. Now it's currently at 17292. And as you can see here on the MACD, it's from 0.000004 into the 0.00006. So momentum is still pushing upward, and we're going to get ready to actually hit into the 175 range very, very soon. So with that being said, we have 15 minutes left till the hour close, which is very exciting to see actually. So let's go ahead and look at the hour. So here is our hour, and we can see very clearly here on the hour, we are hitting it, right? So the upper band of resistance right now on the hour is actually sitting at 17413, and we are very, very clearly hitting it. So there's a good chance in the next 15 minutes we might actually come right under this hour, but I don't believe that to be the case. Instead, I think what's going to happen is we're going to close just above it around 1743 to 1745, and then from there, this is going to push even more upward. In fact, expect between 8 to 9 p.m. we should see 175 plus, probably into that 175, 176 range. So from there, we're going to hit around 176, 175, 176. And then at 9 p.m. today, we're going to start to trade sideways. So that sideways will involve going towards the 174. We're going to come back down to the 174 to the 175 as we trade for the next 2 to 3 hours. We're going to hold that for quite a bit of time before pushing back up to the 177, 178. And if everything works out as expected, we should see in the next 8 hours a potential look at the 1.8 range. We're not going to hold into the 1.8 range, but we're going to definitely see it. So if anybody has any questions, by all means, go ahead and ask. I'm going to have the 1 minute candle up, and I am going to update again at the hour mark in 12 minutes. So do look forward to that because it's going to depend. It's going to change everything, but I do believe we're definitely looking at hitting 175 in the next hour. In fact, you can kind of see that actually. So you can see in the 1 minute, our resistance and our upper band has hit up to 17495. So we're very, very, very close to that point that we want to see. Okay, guys, welcome back to the final part of this live stream. We are ending the 8 o'clock, as in we are ending the hour. Thought you said this is going to run. This is going to run, Jenna. So as you can see here, let's just zoom out a little bit. So as I mentioned earlier, if you were here on the live stream, the goal is we're gonna run to the 199 range, right? So then to see that, let's just zoom out a little bit more. Here it is. So our main resistance right now is currently sitting at 19917. The thing is, we actually broke all the resistances so far. So this is going to be our second last resistance that we're going to hit towards. So that resistance we're looking to run in the next 7 days. And that is a massive increase if you think about it, right? We're looking to increase about 20% currently where we are. And then from there, in the next 7 to 14 days, once we close above this line, so probably in about the next 7 days, we're looking to close just below 199. And then the next week, move up until around the roughly 3.0003 range. So that's in 7 days from now. And I think that's a huge run, right? I can only imagine you'd probably agree. But that's only the beginning. So once we hit 0.0003, our next step is to run all the way to 0.0008. And that is the run that I'm referring to. But this is the start of that massive run. It all starts with us closing above this resistance and then closing above this 199 resistance. So with that being said, it is 8 o'clock. So let's look at the final 15, 30, and hour candles before I sign off for the night. So then over here, as you guys can tell, almost, let's just zoom in. Okay, so as you can see here, for the final half an hour, we're well above support. Support has now come up to 17293. We can see here our MACD and our indicators are pushing up positive. So we're looking in the next half hour to finally go into that 175 range. That is amazing for us to see as the support keeps pushing upward. So likely in the next half an hour to an hour, we're going to start breaking this support again. So you know how before here we had this break upward and then a sideways trading? That's what's about to happen. We're going to break upward and support trade. But this time, we're looking to break into that 176. 176, 177 is our next goal. And we're just going to look at the hour candle to understand how that's progressing here. So by the way, we had an amazing hour candle. So for anybody who thinks we're not running, look at this. Let's just zoom in a little bit more. As you can see here on this candle, we're breaking supports. So this one already broke. This next hour support is looking to push up. So zoom out a little bit. You guys see this green line here? That is our giant wedge. And we're about to hit it. And we're about to hit it with all the support we have. So look forward to this next hour and the hour following that. Because we're going to hit this line and probably come back down to 175. But we're so close, guys. We're so close to the end game here. So that's the hour. And the last one, the half an hour and how that's progressing. Do we have the momentum? Are we going to keep pushing upward? Well, we can see in the half hour range, look at that. The upper resistance is about to meet the wedge. Every single indicator is showing us we are arriving at that final point. So get excited, guys. We're really about to run here. Now, of course, as well as you can see here on an indicator point, we're still pushing upward. So we are definitely going to, in the next hour, hit towards that line. So yes, I know it sounds amazing, right? It's genuinely exciting. So if you guys have any other questions, I'm more than happy to answer. I'll be here for another 3 minutes before I sign off. So let me know what you guys think. Which, by the way, to let you guys know, there is about a 30 to 45-second delay between me speaking and real time you guys watching. Have a good night. Thanks for joining. I'll see you guys real soon. I might do more updates daily. We'll see as it goes along if this is something that you guys prefer. Otherwise, have a good night, guys. Assalamu alaikum.